port as always as we kick off into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. What a matchup this is going to be. Let's see how it goes to the bottom right hand side of the map. We're going to kick it off with our blue Protoss player from Jin Air Green Wings. We actually have a lot to thank for this guy because he actually messaged me when I was in Barcelona, I think, or just before I left to Barcelona. He was like, hey, do you want, hey, Rogue wants to know if he can play in the WardiTV weekly. I was like, yes. You know, I'm not going to say no to the BlizzCon champion, am I? Of course not. Creator, blue Protoss player to the bottom right hand side. Securing his teammate a spot and giving us another fantastic player in the event. Alright, Terran, top left from Splice is TY. Game number 1 of this best of 3 opens with the Proxy Tech Lab Harax. Is this a Ghost Academy? No, he doesn't have the gas for it. It's just a Marauder? I don't even know what this build is. It Proxy Ghost? Surely not. No, I mean he doesn't have the gas for Ghost. Is he actually going to build Marauders? I don't believe it. What a scout for Creator though. I mean the probe scout allows him to know that it's not something in the main base. And so he does know something's on the map, so he goes to check for it, but out of all the things I would afford to see here from TY, a Marauder is really not one of them. I think this was more or less one of the last things I would have guessed at if you told me that this was going to be a barracks-based proxy. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't even know. A shield battery here going to start taking some damage, and TY just starts to work his way through. Going to start working his way on that Zelt as well. No worries so far, but he can kite his Zelt rather easily. Here comes the Stalker. He's about to get concussive shells. And this is maybe where he has to be a bit more careful. As a second Marauder pops at home, he builds up a factory as well. So TY, so far, not finding a lot of damage as he does have, well, now 2 shield batteries at the front and trying to boost another Stalker. You can't blame Creator. Obviously, you don't want to be spending that chrono boost on probes when your opponent's just on one base, and you know it as well. This probe is keeping good information in the base and just keeping up to date and just, you know, keeping track of what else is building. Starport will be proxied. Over to the left is we're actually going to see the barracks moving forwards to maybe soak some damage and so on. As we're going to be seeing the the barracks leading the charge. Here we go. We're going to be seeing the Marauder's going to be poking and prodding, and I just don't even know. Like, he's going to grab himself a Stalker here. Is he actually going to get the kill? He does hit it again with the Marauders. The 3 Marauders is what you need to actually out DPS a shield battery, I think, and so 2 will not cut it. So TY so far just loses 2 Marauders, and I mean, I wouldn't say that was really great from him at all. Like, did he really even kill anything here? He's killed a probe. That probe was in the main base. Like, he really hasn't done a lot, as we do see this. Oh, no way. This probe creator just misses the starport. Misses that Liberator. That's a little bit of a shame. You know, I see those Stalkers just poking back this barracks. Another Stalker on the way up a Stargate build, and honestly, I really like it. The Stargate's going to be a fairly decent way to help him out against this if he builds Phoenix. It'd be very interesting if you build an Oracle in this new patch where the Oracle is so much worse. That would be very, very interesting. I see those 2 Cyclones. They're just going to be moving out and going in towards the center to see what they can get up to. A probe. We'll place a pylon on the left-hand side. Looking for maybe some counterattack potential. I mean, this Liberator is about to finish, but look at Creator's timing. This is actually somewhat impressive. He moves into the main base just at the sort of time where you would expect a proxied Liberator or so. Like, I mean, I don't even know if, you know, this can barely even be coincidence. I guess we do have 2 Cyclones poking in the front at the same time, but the Stalkers see this Liberator right away. Now there's a Phoenix on it as well, and TY has no option other than to just, well, suicide siege this. You know, if you're not going to siege it up, then you have a tough time. However, those Cyclones are going to be able to pick off the pylon powering the shield battery. But then one of them gets lifted up by the Phoenix. The Phoenix is just such a perfect counter to all of this, and well, now those Stalkers are going to come in and keep pushing that Cyclone back. Oh, he actually runs out of the lift here. So he actually loses 1 Stalker, but I mean, overall, I think this is pretty fine. Creators continue to just completely deflect TY. TY's barracks and starport currently flying back home. Now Gateway coming up to the left-hand side as obviously Creator says, well, you know what, you've just lost so many of your buildings on my side of the map. Let's go push, let's go play. Another factory coming down from TY here. This is not looking pretty for him so far, as this probe pulling away will get picked off by another Cyclone coming back home. But that's more or less all that TY's killed here. 2 Stalkers, 2 probes for this entire committed proxy. I don't know, man. Oh, those Cyclones just find the Zealot. I'm a little bit surprised the Zealot actually reveals the gateway here, because I imagine this pylon could be targeted pretty quickly, and if you lose the pylon, that would be kind of a big deal in terms of extra bits and pieces. The Oracle now going to try and help out. Another Cyclone going down. I guess it works out right, because now Creator just warps in more Stalkers. He actually kept a lot more alive here than I thought he might be able to. Those Cyclones, well, they just weren't enough, and now trying to build a bunker somewhat desperately, but TY is not looking pretty, and Creator looks as though he might be able to do something here. Extra Cyclones are coming out, and Cyclones are dangerous against gateway units. One bunker killed off here, not even a cancel from TY. He cancels this second one. SCV's pulling in, but of course Creator's very happy just to trade with SCVs right now. Already killing 8 as he backs away from some Stalkers. More Stalkers on the way. At the same time, Oracle is one of the things doing damage in the main base. Running out of energy though, the Cyclones will come back to deal with that. And now, the speed at which those Cyclones fire their first few shots, well, I guess a little bit dangerous there, as we're going to see Stalkers. Oh, again, the Cyclones are powerful. They're going to push Creator back. TY will stay alive for now. 35 to 47 workers. And playing mech here in game number 1 of this TvP. The double factory setup is now established. We will be able to start building his siege tanks. See, these Stalkers are still just unupgraded, you know, no blink or anything on them. If there was even like just a blink, it might be a little bit better, but there's actually a few more Stalkers coming through, and Creator will break through this in the end. Oh, TY very quickly there went from turning away these Stalkers and looking as though Creator was stupid to still be attacking, to Creator just worry about the shield battery. But seeing the tech lab, I guess, was a big deal, so it's not like TY really made it difficult to find, though. I mean, it was just, I mean, obviously it has to be proxy, but it was like right in the most common location, like, hey, I'm building something close to your base sort of location ever, right? It was a bit of a weird one, as we have to the bottom left-hand side. A blue Terran player representing Splice. It's TY. And to the upper right, our red Protoss player from Jin Air Green Wings. It's Creator. Game 2 of this best of 3. Looking to see what might happen here over the next couple of minutes. Looking to see what the second one will bring us. Obviously hoping maybe for a bit more standard out of TY, and so far he's not going to proxy that first barracks or anything along those lines. He's just going to start up fairly plain and simply, setting up and setting rolling. Probe will come in and see what's up. Coming all the way across towards the bottom right hand side. All the way across. TY's SCV gonna poke around. Obviously wants to get itself a command center down on the low ground, and there we have it. Command center is built. And Creator just trying to block for a moment or so. His own Nexus is on the way up. We are going to see a bit more of a standard opening build here in the TvP between TY and Creator as we set up into this. What's up, Wolf? The Cheer 100 in the chat. Thank you very much, appreciate it. Can we get some Wardy Hearts up in here for Wolf, guys? Some Wardy Hearts for Wolf. Thank you for the Cheer 100, do appreciate it. As we set up here into the second game again, everything looking much more standard, looking as though we will get that longer game between the two players, which is always nice. Do you have game sounds off? No? They're just quiet. There we go. No, he killed nothing with the proxy barracks. He killed like a probe. And the probe he killed, I'm pretty sure, was on the other side now. No, he killed one Stalker, right? I mean, did he kill one Stalker, or did it just get very low? He didn't kill enough at all. Like, he killed like one unit maybe at most. I can't remember exactly, but it really wasn't impressive at all. And I mean, even after the Cyclone pressure and so, it was like 2 Stalkers were lost for like a Liberator, a Cyclone, and the Marauders. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he only lost a probe initially, and it was a scouting probe as well, so yeah, the Marauders really not doing anything, just didn't find themselves the opportunity. It was like a perfect answer from Creator upon seeing it. He did the right things and put himself, you know, put himself in a good little spot from there. As we see a couple of Widow Mines currently on the way out from TY in the main base. We're going to see the Medivac starting up on the starport as well. just going to see that Twilight Council finishing too. Creator changing up his, well, I guess changing up his build is obvious from the first game of the PvT, but yeah, I mean, just seeing the Robo, the Twilight, I guess we didn't get to see what he wanted to do in the first game of this. That's just a shield battery. As part of his wall-off here, I think did he already see the Hellions coming down, or no, he hasn't seen anything again. Maybe he's just very aware of what TY is doing right now and just setting that up so he has the ability to block off from Hellion run-bys if he feels like TY is going to try for something like that. I mean, I'm just saying this because TY already has Hellions out. It's just crazy that Creator already is sort of preparing against something like that in this situation where you wouldn't usually expect him to just know, you know? It's interesting. It's like actually just like a very good read. Let's see if he keeps these Stalkers in position on the low ground, because those Hellions are looking for the chance to poke, of course. Those Widow Mines are not going to go off just yet, as currently one Stalker is fighting, another Stalker warps in. Nope, the Stalker's going to stay strong at the front. He's happy to just wait this out, and yeah, he's losing some mining time, but you know what? He's also doing a pretty good job in cleaning this up. These Marines are going to go down. Now Widow Mines into the natural, which he pulls away from as well. He just doesn't quite grab really anything here. The mine's still not even going off for kind of a single probe kill. This Widow Mine is... Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, my God. That was so nearly everything it shouldn't have been. This Observer here going to allow Creator to clean this up. What a defense by Creator. Anything lost? Did TY kill a worker? One probe and one Stalker were lost in this game. This was an insane defense. Like, you know, from the initial wall-off at the front, and look at the position Creator puts himself in as he completely shuts down the Hellion into the main. I mean, now he's got double Forge in the main. He's got Blink about to finish. What a position Creator puts himself in as he shuts down the entirety of this harass just for losing some mining time. I mean, that's not, you know, that's pretty good going. You know, you lose some mining time to lose not a single worker. You know, if he loses this mining time and then eventually still loses like 3, 4, 5 workers, then it becomes a bigger issue. But to not lose a single one, I think TUI's got to be a little bit upset with just how well Creator managed to defend this. Siege tanks at the front means that actually Creator will not be able to just push in without thinking here, though. Stimpak's already finished up as well, and 2 tanks are set and ready to go. This is not a breakable position for just a handful of Stalkers, and Creator very much knows that. He has this Protoss Observer just set up here. That, I don't even... the Observer mode is such a simple name. And sometimes I just can't remember it, but... yeah, an Observer mode is just going to be giving him that little bit of extra vision. Actually kind of even reaches over towards the third base, so it's really good vision that it gives him. It's TY. Well, pushing right now. Double the army supply. Creator does have that Blink already in his side, but I mean, there is stim up for the Terran. Kiting with the Stalkers at the moment. This is nice, a couple of Marines here and there. And these are going down. These Marines are being shaved off, and, you know, if this keeps up, Creator is going to get rid of so much of this supply before TY even reaches the other side of the map. And it's just slowing TY down. Like, instead of just being able to move forwards normally, TY has to stop and start and stop and start. He might grab one Stalker here. Nah, I don't think so, actually. It's just going to get back far enough. You're going to see the sentries thinking of moving forwards there. He will eat a shot on the siege tank. Hits the Immortals as well, which is important. Flips that battery. We're going to see a single Marine stimming forwards. Tanks pushing forwards too. Creator being very patient about this. You can see now the army supply is 42 to 61. It's a much better scenario than 26 to 50. As we're going to be seeing tanks and siege moving forwards again. +1 now finished though for TY, but 1-1 for Creator. Combat shield's also finishing. Creator really wants the charge. If he can get the charge, that would be huge. As he actually blinks forwards into these Marines. It's the siege tanks that are going to make this a little bit messy. Guardian shield's coming up. The Immortal's getting on top of this here now. And these tanks are going to go down. Creator will blink after the medevacs as well. His Stalker count is pretty decent. Oh, a little bit of miss micro at the end. And now Widow Mine's coming into play. He's going to have another Widow Mine off on a sentry. And actually, maybe Creator just doesn't quite have enough here. As TY seems to, with the reinforcements, just about have enough. This was messy, and that medevac still just alive on super low HP. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but man, it would be quite the difference if he was to pick that off and to get rid of that heal. And another Marauder going down. These few Stalkers just chasing, and it will be, ooh, a nice pickup there to save the Marauder, but he does get the medevac as well. Pulls back, kills the Widowmine. Creator is alive and kicking, but TY definitely made the most of that there. Again, the reinforcements running in at the right moment just to finally make something of this. And we're just going to be seeing units gathering up in towards the center of the map. Some Stalkers are going to start pulling back. TY comes up the top side. He wants to see what he can do here. Stalkers of Creator going in towards the main base. More bio of TY coming up the right hand side as well, a little bit more over here too. You see the Widow Mines just going to be burrowing. So do you have the... Ooh, blink forwards. Ooh, he actually splashes a lot of that onto the bio here. Ah, that's nice from Creator. Like that blink, like it only really, you know, it like kills a Stalker, it tickles another couple. But the splash that went onto the bio, I almost feel is worth it. So much of that bio is suddenly dropping into the red and orange in terms of hit points. And that's not really where you want this to be. Is just going to be having the units gathering up together for TY now. He's got this third base up and running, something obviously Creator's had for a while. We've been seeing fights focused around there for a long time. And Creator's still expanding down south. As he pokes in, he grabs himself 1-2 SCVs. I mean, it's damage being done. It's damage which is going to slow TY down. He gets a Widow Mine as well, and TY, well, now he's going to start making some Liberators. As this bio pushes forward, he's actually going to see Archons morphing. Army supply is still favoring TY, but he does not have as good upgrades, and 2-2's about to kick in. It's about to be an entire set of upgrade lead in favor of the Protoss player, and that could be huge. It's not ready just yet, but actually right now it's 1-1 against just +1. The Archon is going to be a big deal, but he does get the target fired down onto the War Prism, and that does go a long way, even though these Widow Mines go down without doing anything. Does TY have any units? Stalkers blink forwards. I think there's just so many medivacs. Here come the Liberators, which can maybe just about save this. An Archon will fall. It falls too low in health. And now this Immortal looking to go down as well. Perhaps the CY will target it before backing away further into his liberation zones. Creator will have to back away too. Sniping that War Prism, absolutely huge. Imagine there was actually reinforcements with this army. I think Creator just breaks TY here and now. And then TY is obviously not in a good position at all. Then TY is obviously just having a pretty crappy day altogether. It's going to be seeing these units coming back towards the third base as Creator playing one hell of a game. You got to remind yourselves that he played the most outstanding defense in the early stages of this, and because of that he defended while going into that double forge, and now those upgrades are really starting to benefit him. He's 2-2 now against the 1-1, and he will be 3-3 against 2-2, maybe even 2-1 for a little while here. That's the sort of upgrade lead that's very difficult to overcome. And that's why TY really, I think, has to start looking towards these Liberator numbers as a way for him to really stay in this game. Because if he doesn't have the Liberators, the upgrades are just going to completely roll over this bio army. And that's really going to suck. That's really going to hurt. As we see some Stalkers just set up the high ground, getting ready to potentially poke forwards here. Again, in a few moments' time. So Stalkers are preparing themselves. We see Sidestorm about halfway done. Creator continuing to build up his tech as well. It allows him to just get into that next stage and finally add some more splash damage to the army. He's been playing sort of just Immortal Archon, if you can even call it Immortal Archon, because he hasn't even had that many Immortals or Archons at any single point. Nice observer in observer mode again, just keeping track of this Terran army for a good long time. You know, you get a good idea as to which direction it's moving in. Creator just able to keep up to date with all of that. There's now a new prism to the south side. We'll be wanting to try and go in towards this main base in the next few moments as these rocks get taken down, and well, he's going to find these few Stalkers here. We'll just stim ahead to push those back. You're not even that bad of a stim because he has so much health on these medivacs as he kills a Stalker. It might actually not be bad. I say health, I mean energy. Might not be bad to get some of these medivacs a bit lower in energy so that they just don't get feedback down right away during a fight. They don't quite have the energy to get one shot here by feedback, but it's getting very close. It's kind of funny that you'd actually rather have your medivacs at half energy than full energy, because again, at full energy they're useless. They're actually just going to die. They're so easy for the Protoss to pick up. At half energy, okay, they can get tagged, but they'll still do the job of healing. This is nice, just trading with some few Zealots here as TY now backing away. TY's army supply is exploding once again. As we do see now some Ghosts being added into this. So here we go, some Ghosts being brought in. As we see these Stalkers going to try and get behind this mineral line, and they just about will, but I mean they're going to get maybe 2 SCVs at most before these Marines and Marauders clean them out, and I think that was indeed 2 SCVs there. The rest of the army setting up from Creator. The Ghosts are about to arrive. Mobius Reactor on the way as well to increase the start energy of those Ghosts. Now you don't have to research the cloak right away. I've actually seen this Mobius Reactor upgrade way more than we were seeing it in the past. These Ghosts initially will spawn without the ability to drop those EMPs, but I love this. The High Templar jump into the Warp Prism. What a way to keep them safe. If you can control this correctly, it is one heck of a way to really make those Storm drops hurt. If you can't hit the EMPs until the Ghosts get dropped out of the Prism, well, it could really, really suck. And, well, Creator so far, I have to say, really feels as though he's playing the stronger game. He's playing the better game than TY. There's a lot of bio going to sim on forwards. We're going to be seeing Zell starting to charge in. I don't know if I like this for the pros players. We see the Ghost EMP in, but here come the High Templar. First Storm, TY knows it's coming in. He dodges away. Second Storm is good though, as Creator continues to burst through with another Storm. Medevacs are getting very low, and I think TY just dropped like 30-40 supply. Creator now reinforcing at the front door as SCVs pull away. Bio will turn to fight once again. It's another good Storm. There's too much Protoss. Creator is going to break on through. Man, this guy's PVT looks absolutely insane today. GG. 2-0s TY. Perfect defense game 1. Absolutely pristine.